Jain, I am Pragya Jain, and I welcome you all to this online lecture series by International School for Jain Studies. We have today we have the 25th lecture of the series, and to celebrate this occasion, we have two legends of their field, Professor Jagat Bhattacharya and Professor Dharm Jain, to participate in the series. Professor Jagat Bhattacharya is the chairperson of the lecture today, and the speaker is Professor Dharm Jain. Before we begin the session, I would request Harshit to recite Mangalacharan.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Jai Janendra, I request you all, please join your hand. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Vairiyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loye Sabasahunam, Eso Panchanamokaro, Sab Pavapanasano, Mangalanam cha Savesim, Padhamam Havai Mangalam, Padhamam Havai Mangalam. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshit. That was really beautiful. Now, the title of the lecture today is Contribution of Acharya Haribhadra to Jain Yoga. And before we begin with this lecture, I have our director, Dr. Srinitra Pandey, and I request him to welcome you all formally and also give the introduction.
Namaskar, Jai Janendra. So it is my profound privilege as Director of International School for Jain Studies to extend a warm welcome to each one of you gathered here for this online lecture. First of all, actually, I sincerely apologise. Actually, a cultural program is going on in my society. So currently, I am in an atmosphere with loud sound of multiple musical instruments. So I sincerely apologize for that. So today's occasion is particularly significant as we mark the 25th lecture in this ongoing series. You can say a testament of the continuity of our collective efforts in advancing Jain studies and nurturing dialogues across borders. As you all are well familiar that in this session we are going to talk on Jain Yoga, particularly contribution of Acharya Haribhadra. So we know in popular understanding, yoga is often seen as what we call it a healthy lifestyle practice. And while in our spiritual tradition of India, yoga has a deeper meaning. It is the union of the individual self with the ultimate higher reality. So in the Jain tradition, the roots of yoga are traced back to its first Tirthankar Rishabdev, who introduced practices of disciplines and meditation as a part of the spiritual part. And in current scenario, in textual form, we get it through the canonical text regarded as the speech, or you can say teaching or preaching of the 24th Tirthankar Bhagwan Mahavir. And over the centuries, great Jain Acharyas such as Jinbhadragadi, Kshamasramad, Haribhadra, Subhachandra, and Hemchandra, and many more enriched this tradition, and they gave yoga ethical depth, comparative insights, and structured approaches to liberation, ensuring that it remained a living path of spiritual growth. So, in this session, we turn our focus to Acharya Haribhadra, whose remarkable contribution to Jain Yoga continues to inspire scholars and seekers alike. So, we are privileged to have Dr. Jagat Bhattacharya ji, distinguished scholar and a retired professor of Sanskrit, Pali, and Prakrit at Santiniketan, Vishwabharati Santiniketan, as the chairperson of this session. We all are familiar. He is a very good scholar with decades of pioneering contributions to Prakrit studies, Jain philosophy, and Indian linguistic traditions. Dr. Bhattacharya has guided many scholars and students and enriched the field through his extensive publications and research. So we are fortunate to have such a scholar with us as chairperson of this session. We are deeply honored to have today's speaker, Professor Dharmchand Jain ji, an eminent scholar of Prakrit, Jainology, Buddhism, Indian philosophy, and Sanskrit literature, who has served with distinction as Dean and Professor at Jainarayan Vyas University, Jodhpur, with over 3 decades of teaching and research, numerous authored and edited volumes, edited works, and participation in national and international conferences across the world. Dr. Jain has made an unparalleled contribution to the achievement of philosophical studies. So, Professor Jain, on behalf of myself, on behalf of my institute, I welcome you to this virtual platform as the key speaker of this session. We are deeply honored to uh, we are deeply honored by the presence of ISJS co-founder Dr. Sulekshan Jain and our advisors Dr. Narendra Parson, Manish Mehta ji, whose lifelong contributions and tireless efforts have advanced the cause of Jain studies globally. Their commitment continues to inspire generations of scholars, students, and seekers. I welcome you all here on this virtual platform. I welcome Professor Anikant Jain, Dr. Suddhatma ji, Bakul ji, Abha ji from Delhi. I extend heartfelt greetings to all our attendees joining from India and abroad. Your participation reflects the truly international spirit of this institute. Special welcome goes to the students of the Bhagwan Mahavir Prakrit Fellowship program at ISGS, whose enthusiasm for learning embodies the living legacy of our tradition. I welcome our colleagues, Dr. Naveen Srivastav, Pragya ji, Gopal ji, is and everyone who are joining us for this session. Once again, on behalf of ISJS, on behalf of myself, I welcome you all to this virtual platform of ISJS. Thank you, Jai Jinendra.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. And I think it's now time to begin with the lecture contribution of Acharya Haribhadra to Jain Yoga. And the floor is yours, Dr. Dharamchandji.
Okay, thanks. बोधि समाधि परिणाम शुद्धि स्वात्मोपलब्धि शिव सौख्य सिद्धि चिंतामणिं चिंतित वस्तुदाने त्वां वन्द्यमानस्य ममास्तु देवी त्वां वन्द्यमानस्य ममास्तु देवी. respected Chairperson Professor Jagat Bhattacharya, Dr. Srinetra Pandey, and distinguished scholars who are attending this lecture series. Today's lecture's topic is Contribution of Acharya Haribhadra to Jain Yoga. I welcome all of you. Yoga is a very familiar word for us. We celebrate 21st June as International Yoga Day. And we do asanas and pranayamas, but this yoga is not limited up to your asanas and pranayam. According to Patanjali, I am opening my this sharing.
So if you face any trouble, please feel free to ask me. I can share for you.
You can share.
Okay, now it's visible. Yeah. So you have shared your screen.
Oh, so I should stop share, huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Is it visible?
Yes. As introduced by Dr. Srinetra Pandey, for healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy soul, we have to practice yoga. Yoga is a very ancient tradition in India. From beginning of Rishabdev, Adinath. Adinath was a yogi, a Mahayogi, and we do not find literature from that period, but we find in Agamas that Rishabdev was yogi, and in some Agamas like Sutra Kritang, we find some concepts of yoga, and in later literature, in Pujyapad Devanandi's Ishtopadesh Samadhi Tantra, Siddhasen Divakar's Dvadhyan Dvatrinshika, and some other literature coined by Haribhadra, before Haribhadra, we find, but the main contribution of Haribhadra is very significant. Acharya Haribhadra was a prominent philosopher, great philosopher in Jain tradition, and he was native of Chitrakoot, which is now known as Chittor in Rajasthan. He was a Raj Purohit and an erudite scholar in Vedic tradition, but he could not understand the meaning of a Prakrit verse uttered by a Jain sadhvi. Then he initiated himself as disciple of our Guru, Jinnadat, and respected sadhvi as mother. Hence, he used words for himself as Yakini Mahattara Sunu, which means a son of Sadhvi Yakini Mahattara. He had knowledge of Vedic tradition, and now he was well versed with Jain philosophy and its literature also. It is mentioned in Prabhavak Charit that he created 1440 treatises in his lifespan. But presently, about 75 books are available in his name. He was a great poet, commentator, author, philosopher, and reformer. His works are so many, but with the available treatises of Haribhadra Suri in Sanskrit and Prakrit are available, are mentioned here. He was a good commentator, and his chief commentaries are found on Tatvarth Bhashya Vritti, Dashvayaliya Sutra, Avashyak Sutra, and Anuyog Dwar Sutra, Nandi Sutra, Jinbhadragani Laghu Jivabhigam Sutra, and Pragyapna Sutra. And his philosophical texts are mentioned as Sardarshan Samucchay. He contributed Sardarshan Samucchay. It was the first volume in India which incorporated six prominent philosophies of different Nyaya, Vaisheshik, Sankhya Yoga, and Mimamsa philosophy, Bauddha philosophy. So it is a very, very first philosophical contribution of Haribhadra Suri. Then after collective philosophical works are found of Madhavacharya, etc. And Shastravarta Samucchay, Lok Tattva Nirnay, Anekant Jay Pataka, Anekant Vada Pravesh. And religious cum philosophical treatises are Dharma Bindu, Shodashak Prakaran, Upadesh Pad, Panchadash, Panchashak Prakaran, Ashtak Prakaran, Vinshati Vinshika, etc. Narrative stories are found as Samraich Kaha, Dhurtakhyan, and reformative literature is Sambodha Prakaran. Treatises on yoga. He coined 4 works on yoga, namely Yog Drishti Samucchay, Yoga Vinshika, Yoga Bindu, and Yog Shatak. A few chapters of Shodashak Prakaran also discuss yoga. Commentary on Buddhist texts, Nyaya Pravesh of Buddhist philosopher Dignag. He wrote commentary on Nyaya Pravesh of Dignag. Astrological text Laghu Kundaliya, urological text also Veerastuti, Sansar Davanal Stuti. In this way, he has contributed a lot to Indian literature, Indian knowledge system. Yoga in Indian and Jain tradition, we find there is no doubt that Patanjali Yoga Sutra is an ideal treatise in Indian yoga system. But yoga has also been discussed in the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Yoga Vasishtha, Puranas, and also in the works of Gorakhnath. In Bhagavad Gita, we find Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. 3 yogas are found there. And in Upanishads also, some Upanishads are specifically mentioning yoga. And I did work on Amanaska Yoga of Gorakhnath. I edited it, and there was many shlokas were found, many shlokas were similar with Upanishads. Buddhist and Jain traditions do discussed yoga concepts. There's in Buddhist Vishuddhi Maggo, Abhidharma Kosh, Bodhicharya Avatar are the texts which enumerate meditation and samadhi as yoga in Buddhist tradition. Jain tradition also looks very rich in this respect. It bears more than 25 works on yoga, where spiritual development and description of meditation is focused. Mention of yoga starts from canonical literature and grows through Pujyapad Devanandi in 5th century, Acharya Siddhasen Divakar, Jinbhadragani, as mentioned by Srimitra Pandey. Jinbhadragani has written Dhyana Shatakam. Dhyana Shatakam is focused on Dhyana. So Dhyana is also a part of yoga. Haribhadra Suri, 777 CE, Jogindu Hemchandra Suri, Jogindu's Parama Payasu is a very renowned text. Or Hemchandra's Yog Sutra, Shubchandra's Jnanaranav, Somdev's Yogsar, Yasho Vijaya's many commentaries on Haribhadra Suri's works, and he has coined Dvatrinchikas on yoga. So Yasho Vijay has also contributed a lot, but we have to discuss only Haribhadra here. What is the main contribution of Haribhadra Suri? So we have to discuss here only on that. Among these Jain Acharyas, Haribhadra Suri is the most prestigious name for systematizing Jain yoga. He can be considered as founder of the yoga system in Jain tradition in a broader way, through which all sadhana for spiritual development like sanyam, restraint, samvar, stoppage of karma inflow, tap, penance, dhyan, meditation, also comes in the category of yoga. In this respect, all Jain literature prior to him may be considered as yoga literature. But taking and defining the word yoga, he composed the independent treatises on it and gave a systematic form to Jain yoga. He took seeds from Agamaj for this new dimension. For instance, the Sutra Kritang Sutra mentions some words like Ajappa Yoga. We find some words of related to yoga in the Sutra Kritang. Ajappa Yoga, Adhyatma Yoga, which is the root of Adhyatma Yoga. Bhavana Yoga, Bhavana Yoga. Jhana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. Samadhi Yoga, Samadhi Yoga. 4 words are found similar, from which Haribhadra Suri developed these yogas, Adhyatma Yoga, Bhavana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Samadhi Yoga. And another one is Vritti Sanksha Yoga, that is not found, but Yogavan Shabd, Yogavam, it is also found in Sutra Kritanga. Acharya Haribhadra Suri used these words for systematization and development of Jain yoga. He propounds 5 types of yoga in his Yoga Bindu as Adhyatma Yoga, Bhavana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Samta Yoga, and Vritti Sanksha Yoga. Before Haribhadra Suri, we do not find such a classification of yoga. The Acharang Sutra mentions some fragments about meditation. We find words like Kohadansi, seer of anger, Manadansi, seer of pride, Mayadansi, seer of deceit, Lobhadansi, seer of greed, Logvipassi, seer of the universe, etc. So these are related to dhyana, to meditation. So meditation is also a part of yoga. Avashyak Niryukti of Bhadrabahu describes a concept of kayotsarga, an experience of separation of soul from body, which is related to meditation and yoga. Description of meditation of dhyan is also available in the Tattva Sutra and its commentaries. Acharya Kunda's works are devoted to describing soul and spiritual aspects, but the yoga system is not found in it. There is a spiritual development, and we can include this literature also in the yoga system, because this is related to moksha, and all the sadhanas which are joining or uniting us to liberation or emancipation, that is counted in yoga, according to Haribhadra Suri. So Acharya Samadhi, Shatak, and Instopadesh of Pujyapad Devanandin are considered for spiritual development. Dhyan Dvatrinshika of Siddhasen Divakar and Dhyan Shatak of Janbhadra Gani are focused on meditation only. Hence, credit goes to Haribhadra Suri for systematization of yoga in Jain philosophy completely, in a bigger way. Contribution of Haribhadra in systematizing yoga. Here we have to discuss the contribution in propounding and systematizing yoga in the available frame of Jain metaphysics and ethics. He was well acquainted with then prevailing different yoga ideologies. Hence, keeping them in view, he propounded Jain yoga system. He propounds yoga system keeping in view the ultimate goal of emancipation and takes recourse to agamas and arguments. युक्त्यागमानुसारेण योग margo vidhiyate. He defines yoga as the means which unites the soul with final emancipation. Mokshena yojanad yoga. In Yog Bindu, he includes that every spiritual or religious activity in the yoga which unites us with moksha, as he says in the Yoga Vinshika, Mokkhena joyanavo jogo sabbo vidhamma bhavaro. Here he differs from Patanjali. Patanjali's Yoga Shastra. According to Patanjali, Chitta Vritti Nirodh is yoga, in which physical activities are stopped, psychical activities are stopped. That is a form of samadhi. In the Yoga Sutra is very famous, which defines yoga as Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta Vritti Nirodha, stoppage of Chitta Vrittis. But in the view of Haribhadra Suri, all the activities which enjoin us with final liberation are the part of yoga. There are two meanings of yuj dhatu, yuj root. There are two, yujir yoge and yuj samadhau. From the root yuj samadhau, Patanjali's yoga is found accurate, but in the view of Haribhadra Suri, Yujir Yoge is very much appropriate for yoga, for developing yoga. So, Yuj Samadhi, in Chitta Vritti Nirodh, we find Samadhi, and Samadhi is related with Yuj Samadhi, whereas Haribhadra Suri takes the root Yujir Yoge. Hence, Patanjali focuses on Samadhi and Haribhadra includes all the religious and purifying activities, uniting with emancipation through Keval Gyan in yoga. Defining this concept to yoga, he goes a step ahead from Patanjali and includes a stoppage of all activities of mind, speech, and body in the 14th Gunasthan. No birth and death takes place after it. And this is the condition of ayoga. So ayoga is also a part of yoga in the view of Haribhadra Suri. This is a state of ayoga. Ayoga is the highest yoga in Haribhadra's view. Antastva yoga parah udahritah yog drishti samuchay. A soul lives in permanent bliss, having infinite knowledge and power. All the soul purifying activities since beginning come into the category of yoga. In this way, Haribhadra developed the yoga system in Jain tradition. Next. Use of yoga word in different meaning. Here one point is to be discussed. In the Tattvar Sutra, activity of mind, speech and body has been defined as yoga. Kaya Vang Manah Karma Yoga. And that yoga is considered as ashram, which means inflow of karma. This inflow may be Shubha, good or Ashubha, bad. Inflow of karma is an obstacle in liberation. So use of word yoga as a means of liberation is quite new development by Haribhadra. Yoga is a source of ashram in according to Tattva Sutra, and yoga is a source of or instrument of emancipation according to Haribhadra. So there is a great difference. So how Haribhadra manage it, we should see it. Seeing the different systems, discussing yoga as samadhi, he also took the positive aspect of yoga, and on the basis of agamas and contemporary thinkers, he gave a shape to yoga as the means of final emancipation. Shubha Yoga can resist Ashubha Yoga, and that is called Samvar in Jain terminology. Samvar is a part of sadhana. Hence, Shubha Yoga can be a means of emancipation. It also can be a means of nirjara, through which annihilation of existing karma bondage is occurred. In this way, all good activities, including penance, diminish the kashayas or evil passions. Hence, those can be considered as yoga. Four texts on yoga. Due to meeting with emancipation, it is called yoga. Haribhadra Suri wrote separate texts on yoga. His four texts on yoga are well known. Yog Drishti Samuchay and Yog Bindu are in Sanskrit, whereas Yog Shatak and Yog Vinshika are in Prakrit language. One another his work, Shodashak Prakaran, also has references on yoga. In this way, Haribhadra's 5 works propound and establish yoga system in Jain tradition. All of these have been written in verses in Kavya. There are 228 verses in Yog Drishti Samuchay, 527 verses in Yog Bindu, 101 verses in Yog Shatak, and 20 verses in Yoga Vinshika. Haribhadra Suri propounds that the persons who enjoy in the world with material things and do not try to know the truth are not able to proceed into yoga. They have been called as Bhavabhinandi by him, who are concentrated only on sensual pleasure. They are Bhavabhinandis according to Haribhadra Suri. So he doesn't recommend them as a able person for as able person for yoga. Minimum qualification for yoga sadhana is subsidence in moha karma. A person who is not bonded with extreme point of moha karma forever may be eligible for yoga. Moha karma is of 2 types, darshan moha and charitra moha. Darshan moha is delusion in viewpoint, and charitra moha is delusion in conduct. Subsidence or destruction of darshan moha is necessary for expression of right view. Charitra moha includes anger, pride, deceit, and greed. These are found in different ratios. Highest point of anger, pride, deceit, and greed is to be removed for conducting yoga sadhana. Otherwise, mind doesn't concentrate in yoga. He discusses 5 levels of yoga: Adhyatma Yoga, Bhavana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Samata Yoga, Vritti Sankhya Yoga in Yoga Bindu. Among these, every posterior yoga is more powerful or better than preceding one, but these occur in a sequence. First Adhyatma Yoga, then Bhavana Yoga, then Dhyana Yoga, then Samata Yoga, then Vritti Sankhya Yoga occurs. So what is Adhyatma Yoga? Next. What is Adhyatma Yoga? First of all, a living being should have faith in spiritual purification and should be introvert to develop his inner ability. No other means is there. This Adhyatma Yoga includes the observation of Anuvratas and Mahavratas, and friendliness to all living beings, compassion to all sorrowful beings, delightful experience to all happy and meritorious people, and indifferent behavior to adverse persons. In this Adhyatma Yoga, a person thinks and deliberates about animate and inanimate substances on the basis of Shastras. In Adhyatma Yoga, there is a diversion to Adhyatma, spiritual interest. If someone has spiritual interest, then there is Adhyatma Yoga. This is the beginning of yoga. When someone feels sorrowful conditions in sensual pleasures, then he diverts to Adhyatma Yoga. So it happens after destruction of Anantanubandhi Kashaya and Darshan Mohini. Anantanubandhi Kashaya, Darshan Mohini, three prakritis of Darshan Mohini, Mithyat Mohini, Samyak Mohini, and Mishra Mohini. These seven prakritis are destructed, then Adhyatma Yoga is can be found. So what Sutra Kratang Sutra says here, Jaha kumme sa angai saye dehe samahare evam pavaim medhavi ajapena samahare. Here ajappa shabda ajappa yogaya, ajap for ajap yoga has been used. A tortoise gathers up his limbs and becomes safe from enemy. Just like it, an intelligent soul gathers up himself and becomes safe from sinful activities. Bhavana Yoga is a step ahead from Adhyatma Yoga. It is a fruit of continuous or repetitive practice of Adhyatma Yoga. Through this yoga, worldly desires and inner enemies of a soul are diminished and merits get increased. This Bhavana Yoga is occurred through knowledge. Bhavana is a practice. Chetasi punar nivesham. Repetitive practice. Belief, conduct, and penance, and the detachment from worldly pleasures. Through this yoga, a soul gets betterment in purification. Dhyan Yoga is the next step in which mind is concentrated on Shubha objects, and it is like a constant lamp. Haribhadra Suri defines meditation as below. Shubhaikalambanam dhyanam, Shubhaikalambanam chittam, dhyanam ahur manishinah, sthapak, sthira deepa sadrisham, sukshma bhog samanvitam. This has been told in Yoga Bindu. Dhyan is a very important step of yoga in every tradition of yoga. This is an instrument to focus on the self and remove the karma particles from it. When we see Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali, Asan, Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Yoga, and Samadhi, then we can say there is also Dhyan. So, Dhyan and Dharana and Dhyan, Desh Bandhas Chitta se Dharana. Chitta ka Desh, the part, concentration of mind, partial concentration of mind is Dharana, and the continuous concentration on anything is Dhyana. So, Dhyan and Dharana comes in this Dhyan only, this Dhyan of Jainism. Dharana is also included here. A soul becomes powerful through this to control himself and to overcome evil passions like anger, pride, deceit, and greed. It is very much helpful in purification. Jain philosophy propounds 4 dhyanas, out of which 2 dhyanas, namely Dharm dhyan and Shukla dhyan, are Shubha for purification through shedding karma particles from a soul. Acharya Haribhadra described 8 types of flaws of chitta which create disturbance in a dhyan. Antaraya. There is a mention in the name of Antarayas in Yoga Sutra, but here these are chitta vikshepa. Those are kheda. Kheda is a tiredness after an activity. Udvega, tiredness without performing any activity. And the Brahm, inner confusion or delusion. Utthana, absence of inner peace. Kshepa, changing state of mind. Asanga, obstinate state of mind. Anyamud, affection in another thing. Roga, illness. These 8 are obstacles in concentration. Sutrakartang Sutra mentions that performing Dhyana Yoga, a yogi should have his body affliction and keep endurance in every moment till moksha is achieved. Haribhadra says that through meditation, a yogi achieves mastery over himself, experiences inner stability, and becomes able to stop the continuity of birth and death. Next. Dhyana Yoga leads to Samata Yoga. In this yoga, a yogi remains happy in every condition. Haribhadra Suri explains that a yogi remains indifferent in convenient adverse conditions, in sorrows and in pleasure, and in every condition he remains equal or bears equanimity, which are the actual result of inner ignorance. Samta Yogi is an enlightened person who is unaffected by these futile things. Haribhadra Suri propounds 3 results of this Samta Yoga. Number 1, yogi doesn't apply his amazing achievements to attract anybody. He has no such attraction to attract anybody for mantras or yantras or any such things. Destruction of minor karmas like Keval Gyan can occur. Threat of expectation is abolished. Samta is not a condition of inertia, it is full of consciousness and wisdom. Samta is not inertia. It is not like that there is no chetana or unconsciousness. It is conscious part of a person. After this 5th and the last vritti sankhya yoga is experienced. In this yoga, all vrittis which are generated through contact of other things are totally annihilated forever. Keval Gyan, Keval Darshan, infinite bliss, and infinite inner power are experienced by the pure soul. This is the state of 13th Gunasthan, namely Sayog Kevali Gunasthan. Then yoga proceeds to the state of Ayoga, where total annihilation of the activities of mind, speech, and body occurs forever. This is called the 14th Gunasthan, duration of which is less than a second. The soul lives in emancipation and experiences infinite bliss and total removal from worldly sorrows. Jain philosophy accepts that after annihilation of all 8 karmas, 8 attributes of a soul are experienced in completeness, that are Keval Gyan, Keval Darshan, infinite bliss, etc. Another 5 limbs of yoga. Acharya Haribhadra explains 5 limbs of yoga in Yoga Vinshika as Sthan, Urna, Artha, Alamban, and Analamban. What is Sthan? Sthan is practice of proper posture for sadhana. This is asan according to Patanjali, and Sthan according to Haribhadra. Urna, correct utterance of sound or words of scriptures. Correct utterance of sound or words of scriptures. How to read scriptures and how to understand the scriptures, that is also important for sadhana. So swadhyay is also important, and asan and swadhyay, urna is for swadhyay. Artha, proper understanding of the meaning of scriptures. What is its meaning and how it is useful for my sadhana, that is to be understood. Alamban, concentration on the image of a Tirthankar in his full glory. Concentration on the image of a Tirthankar. Analamban, concentration on the abstract attributes of omniscience. First 2 of these 5 limbs constitute external spiritual activity as Karma Yoga, and the remaining 3 can be called as Jnana Yoga. This 5-fold yoga takes place in 5th Gunasthan of a laity or householder, and from 6th Gunasthan onwards in a monk. For general people, it will work as Yoga Bij. Every limb of this 5-fold yoga is of 4 kinds. Ichha, willingness. There should be willingness in all the limbs. Willingness is very important for doing any work. So yoga also. Pravritti, activity. First we should do desire. We should desire, then we should activate. Third one is sthirya, stability. Stability is needed, and siddhi, then there will be success. So there will be success. So willingness, activity, stability, and success. 3 types of yoga are also found in Yoga Drishti Samuchaya. In the beginning of Yoga Drishti Samuchaya, these 3 types are found: Ichha Yoga, Shastra Yoga, and Samartha Yoga. Ichha Yoga is willingness of spiritual development, but there is inertia in progress due to lack of proper understanding. So first we should have Ichha. Some persons say, some philosophers say that Ichha is or a desire is to be abundant, but desire for moksha can be useful for us. So Shastra Yoga, spiritual inertia diminishes and alertness for spiritual purification with faith and knowledge increases through Shastra Yoga. Resorts to Shastras or scriptural understanding is Shastra Yoga. And Samartha Yoga is self-experience. Knowledge and vision creates ability to proceed further. This is important for attaining emancipation. Next. 8 Yoga Drishtis are also found in Yoga Drishti Samuchaya, and these are as Mitra, Tara, Bala, Dipra, Sthira, Kanta, Prabha, Para. So what is Drishti? Sasradhana Sangato Bodho Drishtiritya Vidhiyate. Sasradhana Sangato Bodho Drishtiritya Vidhiyate. Understanding with right faith is a drishti. It is essential for spiritual development. Through yoga drishtis, one can leave the wrong path and can proceed on right path. They are better. Okay, I'm concluding. So from these we can say that these 8 drishtis are similar to 8 angas, yogangas of Patanjali. Asan, pranayam, pratyahar dharana, yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar dharana, dhyan, samadhi. In that consistency, Haribhadra Suri also proposed these 8 drishtis. and these are similar in his views also. So I'm not defining them or elaborating them. We are concluding now. Impact of Haribhadra Suri on posterior Jain philosophers. This yoga system propounded by Haribhadra Suri has given a path for the posterior Jain philosophers to go ahead in this direction. Acharya Hemchandra in 11th, 12th century and Yasho Vijay in 18th century are the great instances for it. Hemchandra Suri also defines yoga as a means of uniting with emancipation, and he also mentions the threefold yoga as Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, and Samyak Charitra. Upadhyay Yasho Vijay, 18th century, has written commentaries on Haribhadra's works and also wrote some treatises separately on yoga on the basis of Haribhadra's concepts regarding yoga. Yasho Vijaya's Dvatrinchikas have great role in this direction. His famous Dvatrinchika on yoga are focused on Yoga Lakshan, Patanjali Yoga Lakshan, Purva Seva, Yoga Bheda, Yoga Viveka, Yoga Avatar, Yoga Drashti, and Yoga Mahatmya, importance of yoga. Other Dvatrinchikas are also related to yoga. All these treatises are concentrated on comprehensive understanding of Haribhadra's yoga works in detail. In this way, Haribhadra Suri was a pioneer philosopher in Jain tradition to establish yoga in a very systematic way. Next, conclusions. We can have some conclusions on this topic. Haribhadra Suri was an original thinker and had a vision to systematize the yoga sadhana with new concepts and terminology, keeping in view the Jain canonical literature and the prevailing yoga thoughts in his time. He gives importance and reverence to other thinkers and practitioners as he quotes names of Gopendra, Bhadanta Bhaskar, Kalatit. He also quotes a treatise Samadhiraj. He propounds yoga path for those who are having a quality of apunarbandhakta, which means non-binding of highest tenure of deluding moha karma, that is 70 crores of crores years. He coined new words like Bhavabhinandhin, Purva Seva, Apunarbandhakta, Urna, Vritti Sankshaya, Ichha Yoga, Shastra Yoga, Samarthya Yoga, etc. in Jain context. He introduced 8 types of obstacles of mind first time in Jainism. He gave a new direction to Jain Siddhant philosophy, Jain Sadhana philosophy in the framework of yoga. Thank you to all of you for listening to me patiently.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was really informative. I learned a lot today. The floor is now open for questions and comments. And even I have a question if you permit me to ask.
Okay. Yes.
Sir, why Haribhadra gives these different definitions of yoga and other things than Umaswati, when Tatvar Sutra has already given so many definitions, why Haribhadra has his own views and his own definitions of the terms, and you also used Ichha Yoga, and you said that having desires is a good thing, but Tatvar Sutra says that Ichha Nirodhastapaha. So why do they have such differences?
Yes. So we should understand that all desires are not to be abundant. Desires can be divided into 2 types. One is sadichha and other is asadichha. So all asadichhas, all desires leading to sansar, leading to sensual pleasure are to be abundant, are to be and the desires which which lead us to moksha, those desires are to be applied, are to be used.
But
I think
why
so.
Haribhadra and Umaswati have different opinions? That's my question.
No different opinion. Yoga word is common, but there is no different opinion. Yoga word is used in Jain philosophy in two different aspects. The one is for asrava, the activities of mind, speech, and body. That is yoga. So one aspect of yoga is the the activity of mind, speech, and body. The other aspect is also yoga, and that has been used in Sutrakritang, etc. So Haribhadra Suri concentrated himself that all philosophies are discussing yoga, Patanjali and other philosophies also. So what is the meaning of yoga? We should also enjoy in that line. So he coined yoga word for sadhana also. And all dharma, sabbo vidhabba mavaro, all the activities of dharma or all the definitions of dharma include in yoga, like vattu sahao dhammo, das viha dhamma, khamadi das viha dhammo, and all forgiveness, etc. Any victory over anger, victory over pride, deceit, and greed comes into the field of yoga. So he has done a great job. He's not he doesn't oppose Umaswati or Umaswami, but he gave a new path.
This is really interesting, and I think it is a way of assimilation also. All right. Do we have other questions or comments? Dr. Pandey, you're saying something?
Yes, we are running out of time, so I request you to please invite Sulekh ji and then the chairperson and at the end, note of thanks. Thank
Cool. Sulekh ji, your turn.
What should I say? Dhanyavad, dhanyavad. Thank you. It's a very interesting topic and very good presentation by Dharmchandji. I did not know all this. I did not even know the whole life story of our great Acharya. So, Dharmchand Bhai Sahab, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, नमस्कार, pranam, and I hope I learned something. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is so kind of you to say. All right, now we are all eager to listen to our own Jagatram Bhattacharya ji. Sir, please, the floor is yours for now.
Okay, namaste and Shadar Jai Janendra to all of you. And it is really very interesting and illuminating lecture by Professor Dharamchand Jain. And I myself is very much enlightened with his speech. Yes, something I thought that Professor Dharamchand Jain hasn't left any aspect that we can supplement with his lecture. Only some points I can add and just to supplement this yoga system. He has compared that Jain yoga with Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and even inside that Jain yoga, he has explained so many important issues that has been declared by Haribhadra Shuri and other acharyas. And in my view, actually, a yogi generally he is not aware of all of these technical terms which what we use are used by the acharyas. And yogi he himself, that the main purpose of life it is in Jainism, that to be emancipated. And emancipated, that means that you have to visual on your shedding of karma and make yourself the self free. And the process of setting of karma, when it is in practical issue, then that yoga, the term or the practice, it is very important. And if we think that all the life, the asceticism, the life of the ascetics, and even the lay devotees, actually, uh, it is, according to the scripture, grounded in the principle of yoga. And suppose in the Dasavaikalik Sutra, it is written that kahang chitte, kahang chare, kahang chitte, kahamase, kahang sae, kahang bhunjanto bhasanto pabam kammang nabandhai. So how to walk, how to stand, how to sit, how to sleep, how to eat, how to speak. So then the answer is Jayang Chare. That means you have to be very much vigilant on your activities. Jayang Chare, Yatna Purvak. Okay, that means with you must be very vigilant. And Jayang Chitte, Jayang Ase, Jayang Soe, Jayang Bhunjanto Bhasanto Pavang Kammang Navandhai. So if you are very much alert and vigilant on your own work, own activities, and we very much that can be compared with that dharana or dhyana in Patanjali Yoga. And so if you are very much concentrated on your particular work or particular activities, that is also yoga. And in Jainism, that it is the activities of mind, speech, and body, we know very well. That is yoga. That is another type of definition. The thing is that in the canonical texts, we find that the arhantas and even such type of these great persons, or they have special type of body also. There is the mention of that Vajra Rishabha Naraj Sanghanana. Sama Chaura Sangthana Sangtiye. That is that structure of the body to perform or to practice the yoga. It is also very important. So there are so many things, that abstract idea, the practice, and the philosophical idea that lead to the path of moksha. It is very important that yoga is there. And now that Pragyaji has raised some question, and of course there is the difference between other philosophies. In Buddhism, that the term is nirvana, and you are free from your all activities. That is nirvana. And if there is any desire on moksha, that means there is also your desire to have moksha. So some critics or some philosophers, they have raised the question that if you have even desire of moksha, that is very difficult for you. So that is why Buddhism, they use the term nirvana. You don't think that the latter progression of yourself, or whatever that the achievement of that, there is no question about that. Anyway, it is a very interesting lecture, and I am very much enlightened with my friend's lecture, Professor Dharmchand Jain, and I am very much grateful, and I feel myself very much honored to be here and in this August program, and being the chairperson of such a beautiful and luminous interaction and this program. I thanks to Dr. Srinatra Pandey, Pragyaji, Sulekji, and all enlightened scholars, those who are here, and very much grateful to ISGS to give me this opportunity to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And I am glad to be a part of this gallery of scholars. I think Dr. Mehta has raised a good question about being these topics introduced to IKS, and I think we all can come together and devise a plan for this. And now we have the time to invite Dr. Naveen ji to offer vote of thanks. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Sorry, it's my bad. Thanks, Pragya ji. Respected Chairperson, distinguished speaker, august audience, and dear colleague. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. We are sincerely grateful to Professor Dharm Jain ji for his enlightening lecture on the contribution of Acharya Haribhadra to the Jain Yoga. His reflections deepen our understanding of Jain philosophy and show its values in fostering harmony among traditions. This lecture opened new dimensions for understanding the fundamental tenets of Acharya Haribhadra thoughts on yoga. It's a really great lecture. We have to listen more and more, but there is a sort of time. His remarkable work are true compendium that explore the subject in great depth. We thank him once again for sharing his valuable insights. I also thank Professor Jagat Bhattacharya ji, the chairperson of this session, for his scholarly sum up of the subject and the valuable new insights he shared with us. We are truly grateful to you, sir. I express my great gratitude to my co-founder, Dr. Shulek Jain ji, our advisor, Dr. Naran Parson ji, Dr. Manish Mehta ji, and the well-wisher of ISS for guiding us on the path of academic enlightenment and constant encouragement. Also, my gratitude to Professor Anikant Jain ji, Dr. Ava Jain ji, and many more who are presenting here. I'm not taking all his names or their names, but I'm thanking from my bottom of heart. No program can reach its true success without an enthusiastic and learned audience. And therefore, I thank all of august audience for their presence and participations. Last but not least, I am deeply thankful for our organizing team, Dr. Pandey, Pragya ji, Harshit, Gopal ji, Sushil ji, all who are working very hard, who manage this lecture with great dedication despite limited time and various challenges. On behalf of everyone present, I extend our grateful, heartful gratitude to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen ji. Thank you so much. So, thank